Longer waited, now I'm coming out of scope. Out of club, man. Did it cause it's how I fucking flow. Yeah, yeah. I just put a grip on my soul. Bitch, I been 100 with a soap. Longer waited, now I'm coming out of scope. Out of club. Did it cause it's how I fucking flow.
Well, for me, the last few months have been very good. You know, I love staying busy. You know, I love having fights on the horizon. You know, otherwise, I don't know what to do with myself. You know, I've always been known as the guy that loved to fight. Back in the day, John used to joke with me and call me Sir Fights a lot. Because I used to fight, you know, on average every 41 days, I think someone told me once. So for me, it has been great. You know, I went from one fight straight into another fight. That's exactly how I like to do it. You know, I stay ready, I stay fit, I stay training, I keep improving, and most importantly, keep making the money for me and my family. What else can you want? It ticks a lot of the boxes, this fight, except one, which always been a big, an important one for me. I always seek the highest challenge, the biggest challenge. You know, I always look to truly challenge myself. You know, when I was in the UFC, you know, I challenged some of the best guys in the world. When I was fighting in Europe, I did the same there. Anywhere I was, I always seek the hardest challenges. You know, some I win some, I lose some, but always seek the hardest challenge. This is not the case this time. This is personal. This is about settling a score. This is about punishing someone that's done a lot of wrong. Somebody that's been running his mouth a bit too much. Somebody that's been behaving like an animal, you know, not like a human. Somebody that's been so disrespectful on so many levels to so many different people. I have to make this right. This is what this is about. This is not a big challenge for me. Fighting Paulie Malignaggi in bare knuckle fight is not a challenge for me. This is just another day at the office. I'm gonna whoop this guy, no problem. But it is about making things right. No, I don't think I've ever felt about an opponent this way before, that's for sure. Normally it's business, you know. He needs me and I need him to get paid. You know, this is how we feed our families, this is our profession, this is the job that we do. But, you know, this guy has crossed the line many times a long time ago, and he will be punished for it. You know, I love all forms of combat. MMA, boxing, or bare knuckle, you know, they are all real combat, you know, real combat. This is not, you know, Aikido or, you know, any of those fake martial arts that are out there. You know, this is a real martial art where real fights take place. So I love those kind of, you know, martial arts. They are the ones that I like, you know, it's all real. A lot of it is similar, you know, in terms of emotionally. Physically, how you do it, of course, is different. You know, of course, MMA is MMA, bare knuckle has its own, and boxing has its own things to look at. But in terms of emotion, you know that you're going into a fight, you don't know what the other guy is going to do, you know he's going to try and hurt you, and there's going to be people all around that. So, you know, all this emotion is very similar in all those three sports, and that's why I love them. Go outside now and try and sprint for 2 minutes. Just go and sprint for 2 minutes, non-stop, as fast as you can. See how long you last. I will tell you how long you will last. Within 20 seconds, you start to slow down, and within another 20 seconds, you've got no power left. You're like, what the hell is going on? You know, what's happening here? Where is all the energy gone? So it's a very different preparation, and that's another reason why I'm going to have an advantage over Paulie. He hasn't got a clue what he is in for here. He is just preparing for a boxing 12-round fight. Not that. Yeah, certainly many things that I wasn't aware of, you know, just, I mean, you know what it, you know, you understand bare knuckle, yeah, it's going to be harder to cover or whatever, but you don't actually know what it's going to feel like. So when you feel that, you know, it's a whole different ball game, because pretty much every punch you throw lands, you know, everything lands, it's hard to cover. So, you know, it's who is the toughest survives. It's one of those sort of fights, you know. Sorry, what else did you ask?
Well, just on that point, it seems like, from an outsider's perspective.
Oh yeah, so The biggest thing that I also took from that fight was the clinch work. Now, if you look at my fights with Jason, I didn't really do a lot of work in the clinch, and the reason for that, I didn't want to stay in the clinch. I didn't want to stay in the clinch with another MMA fighter, another guy that knows how to work the clinch. I felt that in that particular fight, my advantage was from the distance. I felt that my boxing was crisper, was sharper, that I had more power in my shots, and that's where I could do most of my damage, and it showed. I dropped him 4 times in the fight, and in the clinch, I felt that it was closer to his game. He comes from a grappling background, that he was known for in MMA, so I didn't want to stay in there, so I was just pushing him off and not really trying to stay in there. And as a result, that cost me a lot of energy as well, because instead of just embracing the clinch and doing my own work and also landing my own shots, I was just looking to get out of there. In the process, wasting a lot of energy and not really doing much damage, and taking some damage myself. It is something that I completely will change in this fight, not only because of the way it went with Jason, but also because of the opponent that I'm facing this time. There is a boxer that has no experience in the clinch. So of course the clinch is going to be my biggest advantage in this fight, and I will look to use it a lot.
I just put a grip for myself. Bitch, I've been 100 with a soap.
Many things, even your recovery process and the fitness level. It's let's say if you take a sprinter and you take a marathon runner, right? And depending on which test you give them, one is going to seem fit and another is going to seem unfit. But the truth is, both of them are fit, but they just fit in different ways. And to me, this is the biggest mistake that Paulie is going to make here. He's just going to take his usual boxing approach, and he's not going to be ready for the sprints, because it's not a sprint in boxing. Boxing is very different, it's a different game, and this is a sprint, and he won't be ready for it. He's preparing for a marathon, but he will be doing sprints.
I just put a grip for myself. Bitch, I've been 100 with a soap.
I've said this many times before. Ireland is a great place for boxing. If you want to become a boxer, Ireland absolutely incredible. And there's many, let's say for example, even if you look at Russia, Russia is great, place for boxers as well, many boxers, but Russia is so big. Let's say you could be living in Moscow, there's another guy, really good guy on the other end, he's 7 time zones away from you. You're never going to spar that guy, it's very hard. But Ireland is quite compact, it's small, so I get an opportunity to train with everybody here. I spar the guys like John Nevin and everybody. I don't want to start naming names now just in case I forget somebody. I hate doing that, but go onto my Instagram, you can see who I'm sparring. These guys are the royalty of boxing. These guys are the best of the best in the world of boxing, and this is who I train with on a daily basis.
I just put a grip for myself. Bitch, I've been 100 with a soap.
My prep is just like I'm doing for a competition, just like I always do, because I have a blueprint. Why change it? I know exactly how to get ready for a fight. I know exactly how to get ready for a bare knuckle fight. So I'm keeping that. But when I'm in there with him, that's when it will change. The intent is different. Normally, I'm just there, to provide a great entertainment for the crowd. I always fight till my last breath of air. I always give everything I have in there. But this time is a little bit different. I want to hurt this guy extra hard. I want to punish this guy extra long. I want to play with this guy as much as I want. I want to get him for everything that he said. I want to get him for everything that he's done. Not just for me, but for everyone around the world. Absolutely, and that's what I always say. The moment I stop evolving, I stop improving, I will retire from the sport. I never want to stay in it longer than I have to. So each fight you see a better version of me. I don't just go back down and then rebuild it to where I had it. No, I take it from where I have it and then build it even higher, make it bigger, make it better. Every single time my fitness gets better, my shots get better, my accuracy gets better, my technique gets better. And one thing you must not forget, when I used to fight MMA, striking was my #1 thing. So as a result, I only spent 10% of my prep on striking, because I knew that I was lacking in grappling, I was lacking in wrestling. So every camp that I did, my fight camp for MMA fights, it was all grappling. It was all grappling, all wrestling, all takedown defense. That's what I did for the most part. Only 10% striking. And now suddenly I do nothing but striking. And that was already my strong point. So my improvements are huge. Literally, from fight to fight, I'm a different fighter. I'm a different guy. Everybody says that. Ask the sparring partners that I go and spar with. Even they've told me that, Artem, we see the improvements in you. Now that you've committed to boxing, now that you come here all the time, now that we spar on a daily basis, the improvements are huge. I look forward to showcase that June 22nd. I'm going in there to hurt this guy. I can't speak for someone else. How long will he last? I don't know. Nobody knows. I hope he can take a few digs. He's earned a few digs, you know what I mean? He owes it to the people around the world for all the behavior that he's done. He owes the people to show a real fight, a true fight, not just come in and bottle it like I have a feeling he might do. But we'll see. We'll see on the night.
I just put a prayer for myself.